Hey guys, it's Zero here. I wanted to kind of go over this product I picked up years ago, kind of in line with my getting into wargaming series of videos. If you've watched some of my other videos, I kind of go into like how to get started in a miniature wargaming on a fairly tight budget, you know. Only because I myself am on a tight budget, and so I try to look for ways to get into this hobby without breaking the bank, so to say. Excuse me, a couple years ago, came across this game. It's called Infinity. It's from Corvus Belli, Spanish company, actually. I guess they're all located in Spain. And I liked the models, I liked the artwork. Everything was very sci-fi, very anime sci-fi. So if you like animes like Bubblegum Crisis, Appleseed, Ghost in the Shell kind of stuff, this is kind of like that. So it's sci-fi, but it's very clean, very sharp, very futuristic, very Blade Runner-esque, type game. And they released a box set, I guess, for their second edition. It was it's called Operation Ice Storm, and it came with a scenery pack. And this, it wasn't a very big box. It was actually pretty small, but the scenery pack that came in there is actually all paper and card, which I thought was, at the time I was like, wow, it's kind of cheesy, but it was pretty cool because the box set was like $80, and you got your rule book, you got 2 starting factions, and you got this pack of scenery, and obviously your dice and templates and all that other stuff. But after looking into this stuff, I didn't buy the box set, because I wasn't sure I was going to get into the game or anything like that. So I was just kind of interested in the scenery, So I looked online, and at the time, I was able to pick up the scenery packet for like, I think it was like $11 shipped. So I got pretty nice fold-out poster board. This is paper, and then the pieces of scenery I'll show you guys in a second. But I'll show you this map real quick. This is just a paper, it was a fold-out paper map. I actually went and had it laminated because, I don't know, I think at the time I was like, paper, I've said this before, like it just gets ruined quick. Not that, if you're abusive to it, obviously it's going to get ruined. But even if you're not, and you're careful and whatever, just maps in general, paper maps or mats, they just get ruined, from use. I've played D&D for years, and I've used my own graph paper mats, and then I started buying the mats that they made, the paper maps, and they just get ruined. Even if you use them a couple times, or it just takes one time and that's it, they're ruined. So I had this laminated. It's like a giant poster, I went to Kinko's at the time, and I had them do it, and it was pretty cheap, actually. It was like $6 or something like that, $5-6 after taxes, and they were able to laminate it and get it going. So you get this insert. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Excuse me, I have a cold. So you have this insert, and it shows you pretty simple. You build the cardboard boxes of buildings and shipping containers. The instructions are really, really simple. Unfold, pop together. you don't even need, when you look at these, you don't even really need the instructions. The building, maybe because of the way the roof is folded in, it's kind of tricky, but I'm going to show you right now. So you get 6 shipping containers, and you get 4 buildings. I'm gonna pop these together real quick. They just, here's, boom, boom, shipping container. So I don't know, when I saw this, I was like, that is pretty cool, you know, like, you've got an entire, for Infinity, it was actually a full-size table for the way the game is played. It's actually a small skirmish game, you know, doesn't use a lot of miniatures, so this kind of worked out for it. And I started thinking, obviously I was playing 40K at the time, but I started thinking like, well, I could use that for like Necromunda. They had just released Kill Team, the older edition, like 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, you could use it for that type of stuff. And then they re-released Kill Team in 2018, this year. So you've got your 6 shipping containers. And it's just printed card stock. But it's so cool. It's really cool. And believe it or not, they're actually durable enough to put minis on. I mean, obviously, you know, you're not going to be able to stack 1,000 minis up here, clearly, you know, but like there's actually a bottom, printed bottom, and a top. It's actually kind of cool. And I don't know all the names of the factions in Infinity. I picked up some Yujin, which are like the Asian, Japanese, Chinese conglomerate corporation force. And they're pretty cool. They're very cyberpunky, you know, motorcycles, like techie armor and stuff like that. It's real cool. I'm going to try to put together one of these buildings. Interesting point was that these buildings were actually designed to fit. I'll show you in a second if I can. So we got a bottom piece here, so we flap that in. Excuse me. Fold these, and I bought this years ago and I never used it. I actually bought, believe it or not, I bought like 3 or 4 of these at the time because they were so affordable. I was like, hey, let me get my friends in on this, you know, and you know, see that they, you know, so they could have some scenery. You know, I bought one from my buddy Al he had a shop at the time. You gotta fold that like that. Okay. So all this goes in like this. And so you know, he was just getting started at his shop, and I wanted to have some scenery there for him to be able to accommodate for Infinity players, even though he didn't have a really big group of Infinity people there. Alright, this building is a little tricky, but I know once you get it, it's pretty cool. There it goes. There it is. There it is. pad building. Like one of those little construction site trailer type thingies. There's a lot of companies that make like MDF terrain specifically for this game. I mean, it's really, really popular. So you probably got to tape that. And actually, this was designed to actually stick one of their like starter boxes inside. I'll see if I can do it now. Let's see, that's what they said. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, you're supposed to be able to stick that in there and use this as a support base for this building. And I don't see how... Oh wait, there it goes. There it goes. Boom! Look at that. Well, that's inside there. So don't throw... If you are playing this game, don't throw these out, and you can use them to support these buildings, which will support more weight. That is kind of cool. That's some forward thinking right there. So, you know, you can actually get a couple. Like I said, I got a couple of these. You know, I got them from my friends to have at their place. Like my house is really small. I don't have a lot of gaming space, but you see it'll fit on my 2x4 table. And it's actually, like I said, it's a pretty cool way to, another cool way to just have some scenery if you're going to play a miniatures game, or you want to, but you don't have a lot of space for storage of big scenery, you know. I got some little figures here. I don't know if you guys can see those, but it was 11 bucks, you know. So like I said, I got a couple of them. I think you can get them for like $15 now. Excuse me. Because they're popular. And they made a bunch of different themes for the different factions of this type of terrain. So like they had one for the Aleph and some of the other factions. And then they made a new set for the 3rd edition called Red Veil, I think it's called. Which has different types of buildings. Same concept, cardboard, you know, cardboard packaging. Same stuff, but, you know, different. So they had some with catwalks and like signs and stuff like that. Things that just block terrain, you know, blocking terrain for your figures. So my point being, you know, this was for Infinity. It was released with Infinity. It's actually got Infinity printed on a bunch of the stuff. But you could use it for other games. You could use it for sci-fi role-playing games. You could use it for Warhammer 40k. You could use it for Kill Teams. You could use it for, you know, any game, miniature game that you have that requires a sci-fi theme table. You know, you have the flexibility to use this for. You know, see if I can show you more of this table without knocking everything down. But I thought it was a really cool idea. I still do. And I think it's an affordable option, especially, you know, if you're like me and you don't have a lot of money. You know, most of the stuff I've shown you guys in my videos is stuff I bought for myself, for my gaming club, you know, and I've done it throughout the years. I've done it through time. You know, some stuff recently this year because I got back into it. You know, the hobby in 2017. Excuse me, at the end of 2017. So I kind of got back into it. I was like, all right, well, let me finish up the sceneries sets that we have. You know, so I went out and got a bunch of different things and whatever. But I still hold to that. This type of set is actually really cool for anybody who's got a budget and a tight place to play. You don't have a lot of space. This is perfect. It gives you just what you need to set up a scenario. And these are 25 millimeter. You know, so they're not as big as 40K. They have some bigger models, but it's not as big as 40K. But you can see the size of this map with these figures. You've got a lot of play space. You know, you got a lot. You think it's not that big, but it actually is. So the map is actually like about 33 inches by almost 24 inches. Now mind you, I've got a little lip around the edge for the laminate. But 33 by 24, that's perfect for Kill Team. You know, I think their boards are 33 by 20. So that's not bad. That's actually, you can use this in Kill Team. I bought a Kill Team box of scenery just recently. I did a video on, and I paid a pretty penny for it. Or I got a good deal on it, but you know what I mean? It was like 6 times the cost of this. Now, mind you, it's all plastic, and you know, it's Games Workshop, and you know, you got all the theme stuff, but this is themed for this game, or this type of game, and it was only 11 bucks. Now 15. And like I said, that's on eBay. I just looked the other day because I was actually thinking about getting the Red Veil scenery, because I don't know, I like this style of quick scenery. You know what I mean? You can just pop this up, play your game, you know, and then fold it all up and put it away, you know, and it's out of the way. It's literally like the size of a pamphlet. If you you know, you don't do like me and laminate this whole board. This folds up and fits into this sleeve with, you know, it fits into this sleeve with the rest of this stuff. So it's not, you know, it's not a bad purchase. Like I said, if you're looking at, and if you're a role player, if you do role-playing games, you play Cyberpunks, Shadowrun, you know, any one of the, you know, modern D&D or sci-fi D&D or sci-fi D20, sorry. You know, this stuff's cool, man. It gives you really cool places to have scenarios. Sure, it's, you know, shipping yard and some hab buildings, but you know, you can even throw your dice in these boxes, and it'll, I mean, it's cardboard, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But as I said before, there are other companies. I think this is called Bandau. This is MDF board. They make for Infinity. So it's got that real techie sci-fi, cyberpunky, shadowrunny style. I don't even know if you can see the lines. There's a lot of engraved lines on these. I bought this because obviously I wanted to add it to my Infinity terrain, and it's literally in dimension. It's just a bit shy of the shipping container, but it's the same length and the same width. So this is a whole another level of scenery. These things, they're cool, you know, if you just need some quick scenery to put out. It's got like a name, it's got Oxio or something like that. It's pretty cool. Laser cut stuff is pretty cool. I just find it very difficult to work with. I needed wood glue for this, or a better source of, you know, adhesive like Gorilla Glue. Wood. I think I used wood glue on this, and it took a long time for it to dry. But it's weird because it wouldn't absorb the glue, but it absorbs paint like a sponge. Like I actually primered this twice with vinyl dye, and I know you're not supposed to use vinyl dye on wood, but you can use vinyl dye on almost anything, and it's designed to actually, because I didn't want to use a heavier spray because of these fine lines and details, so I use the vinyl dye because I figured it'll seep in and it'll color the wood but not lose the detail. But painting this just seems like it's going to be a chore. Some people say you should use like automotive primer and stuff like that, but this thing was $10 after taxes. And I got it because I was like, let me check it out, let me see what they're all about, whatever. I didn't buy any more. I was like, 10 bucks. I put it together. I was like, nah, it's not worth 10 bucks. Not to me. Maybe, you know, if you guys think, you know, you'd be into that or whatever. Plastic Craft makes a bunch of Infinity scenery as well. But if you're into that, that's cool. Me personally, I don't think it's worth the money. For $11, I got this whole set of scenery that I can just, you know, play my games on, fold up, put away. And again, if you're into sci-fi role-playing games, this stuff is like a gold mine. You know, you can get like hex square maps from like different companies that make, you know, sci-fi maps. I have some. I can't remember the name of the company, the guy who does it actually right now, but he's actually really good. And he makes a ton of space station maps and things like that. But this, again, this is 11 bucks, and you get all this, and then three other buildings. It's not a bad deal if you're looking to just have some quick throwdown terrain. But that's just my thought process on the Infinity Operation Ice Storm Mototronica Scenery Pack. I guess that's the name of the faction, Mototronica. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I apologize if I'm butchering that. But again, you can get these on eBay. They come in the starter sets, but you can get them on eBay separately. Really cool scenery. A quick way to get into having some scenery to play a quick game on. Whether it's to go, you want to pack it up. It's like the size of a little book. Take it with you, go to your buddy's house or your gaming store, throw down. Or you just want something at your house real quick to use for, you know, miniatures, role-playing, whatever. But I think it's a good buy. Especially, like I said, if you're on a budget like me. So give it a shot. Take a look. Thanks for watching.